Hello and welcome back to the channel, it's me Lunas, and today we'll be continuing the Rimworld run. So what is happening? I haven't recorded for a little bit, so I just want to see what's going on. Is this a Gravcore Caves map, or is it just a random... I think it's just a random caves map. I don't remember looking for an additional Gravcore, as I have all 6 extenders. And that was all we were able to make. Right, that can be allowed. What are we doing? Everyone needs to be on unrestricted. Except Alex. And then how many? Jeez, we don't have many slots left for panels. Alright, what have I got to do? Wood is one of the main things, it looks like, so we'll work on that. And then I also need a freezer for me. We have enough storage space to hold the rice. I'm probably gonna get a little bit of freezer storage for it, just so we can hold like 1 or 2k outside of the other storage areas, but other than that, it'll be for meat mostly. Right, that's going, and then we need to design the freezer / cooking area, and then this can finally be a hospital. Right, the main goal for this episode, I think, as I haven't said it so far, is gonna be to gather mining resources, and we do have some plasteel available in 2 locations, so we'll probably go for those, and then if we can get any more from the scanner, we'll go for those as well. And I think that's gonna be about it, just crafting in the background. Lane is doing a very good job on the crafting, so he is gonna be able to get armor out fairly quickly. With I think it's just crafter at the moment that has armor. Yeah, just crafter. But this will massively increase the strength of our melee forces, especially with bowmen added to those as well. We do have 2 sets of armor. So we can hopefully hope that that gets us doing a lot better against our enemies, as raids have been a struggle recently, especially with the mech raid and the Diabolus. That nearly depressurized the whole ship. An electrical circuit has gone. I was pretty sure I'd be making them out of hidden conduits, but I guess I didn't for part of it. I'll just build over the wires, because it will automatically change them if it's a different wire type. Okay, it seems like it was just around this area. That's a pretty easy fix. No damage was caused, really. And then there's going to be a party. That will be fairly good for mood, although mood is really high, actually. Probably the highest it's been in the series, like considering how many people we have. Right, I want the freezers to vent back into here with the warm air, as we're gonna funnel out through this main part back into the central part of the ship, and that's gonna just get rid of it. Actually, if I install a cooler here and here, that can help with that. Right, I know I have plenty of steel, but I am gonna mine one more vein with people not doing anything now, as we are gonna go for an absolute ton, as the plan is to manufacture weapons until we can start getting masterworks to just hand out to as many people as possible. We're gonna start preparing as good a gear as possible, mostly due to me wanting to be able to consider taking on the mech hive, and because while the power balance is good, a lot of the colonists have a lot weaker gear than others, so I want to strengthen the group as a whole. Although I do still plan to significantly increase the power of a couple of individuals. Right, I think I am going to need to put a cooler here as well, just to help vent the air into here. And then these coolers will vent that out, and assist the rest of the ship. And then we should have a permanent ambient temperature of around 20 degrees. Regardless of the heat level outside. Okay, this room is a little bit higher temperature than normal, but it's barely ever going to get used. But this is remaining around 20 degrees, which is what we want. So this does work as intended. An additional plasteel is ready, and oh, I remember this. This was the really tempting quest, but the Persona Plasma Sword was, in my opinion, pretty awful trait-wise, so I didn't go for it. Oh, we got an excellent quality assault rifle. We do have quite a lot of those now, spread out across the colonists. And most of the bugs have been cleared out. I'm not sure if these guys will attack if we mine these out, but I'm gonna at least try. I need to boost the components somewhat. And then hopefully on the next map we can do a lot better job. Of finding components. Although, because they will be smaller maps for mining the plasteel, probably not. Actually, you know what? I might actually tune to components, because I'm pretty sure you get an absolute ton of components from doing those. Nails has got cancer again, and that is fine, as we can exercise that easily. Okay, all of the meat has been gone through already, it seems. That is fine. We have 2.2k units of pemmican in storage, and with the ship likely ready to leave by tomorrow morning, we are in a perfect position to hunt easier game without being at risk from insects. And we discover the components fairly quickly. I'm imagining it will be a lot easier to find components than plasteel. So we could see a fair few of those come in before I change to anything else. Actually, speaking of which, I may tune to gold as well, as we are going to need gold to make advanced components, and while I want to keep the power balance the same across the colonists in general, for the melee colonists it's essential that they're given as many bionics as possible, and gold is going to fund that. Okay, we've landed at the site, and there are 2 man-hunting otters. Those shouldn't be a threat at all, and we'll just grab a small squad of colonists to deal with them. I did grab a bit too many people. Right. And then we will grab a fair few and have them hunt down the large herd of buffaloes nearby. We're going to cancel Lane though and have him use his transmute steel ability, which will hopefully grant us some more plasteel. We get bioferrite. The entire herd attacks, which is what I wanted, and they are promptly dealt with. And then, oh, there is a stray actually to the south, so we'll have some people handle that. Oh, it's in the ship. We're not exactly set up to deal with that. Crafter can handle it. And then Crafter does need to go into death rest basically immediately. There we go. Okay, and now we will hunt some additional animals. I remember to close up the doors on the airlock area to prevent more enemies being able to get aboard the ship so easily. And then I do need to start a corpse storage, as there are a couple of unwanted corpses in the stockpile area. Celeste decides to hide in her room, and the only other person at risk of a mental break is Throb. I'm pretty sure Throb had a good reason, and yeah, that is fair enough. There are some Muffalo corpses that need to be hauled in, so we're going to do that now. And most of the mining work has already been done, which is great. We should be able to move on fairly quickly. Due to some simple meals rotting away and wasting some rice, we're going to cancel them. Throb does indeed have his mental break, and Celeste has recovered from hers. Throb gets inspired creativity from his tortured artist trait. Her tortured artist trait. There is an eclipse, but that doesn't matter to us, as we aren't using solar power. We were waiting on the butcher area to be cleaned up a bit before we could get the remaining corpses hauled back aboard. Okay, we do need to change the priorities a bit though, or they'll be left outside. The excellent weapons have disappeared from storage, and I'm kind of unsure why. I don't believe there's a bill on here that would cause them to be destroyed. Yes. We'll go for the plasteel first. The grav ship does crash, which is a little unfortunate. The pilots, while having gotten quite a bit better, are still causing a bit of issues. Crafter, I believe, is still death resting, but it looks like he needs help. We're gonna have someone do that just in case it does cause him to get sick. And then I'm gonna try and figure out where these weapons have gone. Or I'm gonna watch what happens after the next one is made. But for the meantime, we're gonna mine the plasteel and any other resources we can find on the map. Most likely just being components. There is an animal migration with a few ostriches. While it's not a load, they're basically walking right past the ship, so it's such an easy opportunity, and it means that we won't we won't struggle as much. For food later on when we spend a lot longer in space. By the time we're in space, I want to be holding about 4k pemmican at a time, and probably have maybe 1.2 to 1.4k meat in storage, as I don't want to have to keep leaving and coming back. Okay. I am trying to get some high quality recreation buildings, and then we're going to put those in here and then get a dining room set up, and then hopefully that'll be a +4 or 5 for recreation and +4 or 5 for dining room, so a permanent +8 to 10 to mood. And I believe the ship is small enough in size that people almost always use the dining room. I will still have this here just in case, but it should mean that there'll be no more dreaded 8 without a table fort, as that is pretty annoying to deal with actually. I'm gonna have Lips finish that. Sienna is being hunted by a monitor lizard, so we're gonna have a couple of people deal with that. I'm not letting it get away. We'll continue firing until it drops. Nice. The billiards table is masterwork, and the poker table is excellent. I'm not going to push for a masterwork poker table, as that could take quite a lot of resources. And then Kiko and Gray have decided to get married, which is good news, as that puts 2 people in a room without us having to make it a barracks. The plasteel mining is going well. It's almost done actually, and the components from around the map have been mined out, or most of them have. I think it's just because this bit is because people are focusing on the plasteel for the time being, but that's fine. Right, I'm gonna... Right, people can't No. Who's a crafter? Tree is a crafter. Refine. Okay, don't do that. Which means one of the builds on here is causing weapons to be non-biocoded. So these are biocoded only. That shouldn't be causing it. This one must be causing it. This should be on good. And then we'll check the destroy as well. This should be on good as well. Damn, we probably lost quite a few weapons to that then. And that should be on good. That needs to be on normal actually. And then if we unforbid, pull that back, and then try and smelt, we can't. Okay, that is unfortunate. I thought I'd set those builds up better, but apparently not. So the entire assault rifle and sniper builds have been wasted, so we're gonna have to get those going again. Right, it's gonna be a bit clogged up with chairs, but it doesn't matter. We needed to save space, and we've saved space. Right, we need to get some sculptures in there. And then hopefully these won't affect the play area for the pool table, or we will have to move it slightly. Right, the components are being mined out now, as the plasteel has been completed. We are over 1,000 plasteel now, which means we can probably start work on the next set of armor. And that is going to be made for grey, and then all of our melee combatants have armor. Alright, the dining recreation room has been set up, and hopefully that should boost mood even further, potentially stopping mental breaks altogether during the easier times for the colony. And God, people do need it. Lane is suffering from loss of recreation time, and there is a psychic droner. I'm pretty sure I know why. I believe we're in the radius of a machine quest that had a radius, which we didn't do before because we were leaving, and that's fine. It is going to be a bit of a pain. It might cause a mental break if our colonists don't spend time on recreation. But it shouldn't be too bad because we're about to leave anyway. The components have been mined out, so we are just waiting on the ship to be allowed to move again. Gold hasn't been found yet, I don't think, but progress towards it is getting along fairly fast. Oof. I know why Lane is struggling for recreation. He was scheduled to sleep through recreation. So I'm not too happy about that. I'm gonna have him use his ability just before recreation time. He does unfortunately get Twisted Meat, but that's fine. Oh yeah, he's on the overnighter. So his recreation will be in the early hours of the morning. Okay, we are able to leave now though, so we're gonna do that. And I think the most useful one to go to now would probably be the component. I don't see the third plasteel. Oh, I do. It's down there. Yeah, we'll go to the component vein. Right, we've landed at the component vein, and the vein is very big, which is great. Although there is another good thing I've noticed. There are a lot of components, aside from that, around the map. Which one is going to boost the number of components we can get here, and two, is going to boost our other resources up. I haven't really seen any uranium and plasteel. I will mention it if I do, but for now we're just gonna queue up as much as we can. And I may end up staying a little longer than necessary to acquire all of these, as the components are massively gonna boost our productivity with manufacturing. And Tree won't keep falling back to manufacture components instead of advanced components. Speaking of which, our only hurdle now is gold, and we do still have a decent amount amassed. It's just I'd like a little bit more to feel safe with putting bionics on people en masse. Right, and then while the mining work that gets done, we're gonna queue up the few trees that we can find to be cut down, as the next mining area is also in a desert. And then we get a Masterwork assault rifle made, which is awesome news. Luckily, Lane had made no Masterwork weapons when they were accidentally getting smelted down. So we haven't actually lost anything technically, as the weapons wouldn't have gone to use. There is an ambush. It is just one lone raider, so we'll have Grey go and deal with them. Lips is gonna stun them first though. They missed their shot, and we'll just have Grey finish up. Somehow they were able to put up a fight despite the 8 level melee difference. And also, I did not think Grey was that low. She's a double passion, and she's been fighting for what feels like forever for us. 3.5 years. I do remember her missing like, at least one battle, but I don't think like that would have counted too much. Okay, Pemmican has reached the 3k point, and it looks like we still have a ton of meat in storage. So that's basically made food a non-issue anymore. The rice hydroponics at around 3/4 full is also keeping up with demand. There is only one small issue. I need to remove twisted meat from the freezer, as it's taking up space and we're not going to use it during this run. I do want to check research quickly though. I think I'm gonna work towards charge rifles, as we can't do cataphract armor. So we'll work towards that. Alex has had a growth moment, and I'm kind of unsure what to put him into. We do have a lot of people who can do shooting, but I'm just wondering, could we have more firepower? Because Sienna, Kira, and Kitsune are all unassigned. And Hamid is technically unassigned as well. I'm gonna go later and check them quickly. So Hamid could technically go either way, but he's leaning towards the shooting with it being 2 levels higher and trigger happy. With the non-passions, it's paramount that we go for his highest skill, as it takes a lot longer. Sienna does have a double passion in melee and a level 1. That's not... The level 1 is basically meaningless, but it's worth keeping her on melee because of the double passion. And then Kira's a melee 2 with a single passion, but no bonus traits. And then Kitsune is geared towards shooting. Okay, so with these two, that is 5 melee fighters, so we can have Alex go towards shooting. And then we'll just chuck him on social, and then kind. Okay. Well, at least I know how I want my forces now, though. But that does mean we are going to have to manufacture quite a few more bionics than I thought I would. That should be no issue though, as I've already doubled my component supply nearly, and we have barely touched the components on the map. Right, I am a little worried about Lane's productivity. I feel like he could be faster. God, this is gonna be scuffed. I'm gonna move the battery and then try and put this along here. We really need the work speed bonus. And then that boosts it by about 32%. Which is probably saving us about a day and a bit's work per weapon. Taking like 2.5 days to make one weapon with bionics, and basically the whole day free without being disturbed is way too long. Oh, the dining room and rec room gives a +6 each. So we are actually going to be doing really well towards keeping people happy through that then. Regional survey quest is available. I believe this is basically the same as the scanner quest we did before. Right, with the rice supply being stable and the herbal medicine supply being a little bit lower than I'd like it to be, I am going to convert one of the hydroponic basins, and hopefully that doesn't throw off our supply of rice. I want to do this because I'd like to increase the amount of industrial tech medicine we have, due to the current bill of 18 not being enough for the heightened combat we're going to be entering soon. Throb and Jensen are at risk of mental break, although that is because of the psychic drone still being in range. We are coming close to an end of the mining operations though. Just checking around to see what we're dealing with. It does look as if everything has been done. I'm just gonna give an hour or two to see if anyone is heading out to haul. Okay, there is a raid. They're all snipers. And we're probably going to be dealing with pretty high shooting enemies across the board, so there's no reason to needlessly endanger our colonists, especially when we can leave now. So I'm just going to do that. We got what we came here for, and there's no need to overstay. Right, the next place we're heading to is the component, the Plastil site. While the amount we have is currently a decent amount, I would like more, especially with at least 3 sets of marine armor that are needed, potentially more. I'm gonna start as usual by queuing up important resources to be mined. We are still gonna go for components, as we are going to go for a lot with the manufacturing. And then at the end, just as we left, Deadlift and Celeste have now gotten together. So we'll see if their relationship ends up going any further as well. There is a ambush by a couple of manhunters, but this shouldn't prove to be a problem at all. Some yaks have joined. They won't be sticking around. We'll slaughter them down and butcher them, and they'll add to our nice meat supply. I don't want the meat in here to spoil, so I'm gonna open up this door and hold it open. And then this should keep this room frozen or refrigerated at all times. Tree has been doing a good job with manufacturing advanced components. Our count is now above 20, and we'll be looking to have her get to around 40, hopefully by the time Lane is finished making weapons. After that, we'll be going all in on armor and bionics, and by that point, Tree should have advanced enough in her crafting level that she'll be able to help out and contribute towards great quality armors. Deadlift gets a trade inspiration, although we haven't had a trader for a fair while actually, so we may not get one this episode, or before his inspiration expires. The mining work is essentially done. We're just hauling in the last of the resources, and we still have almost a day before we have to leave. With nothing else to do, I am going to harvest the small amount of trees in the area again. And hopefully the next map we go to will have a better supply of wood for us, as we are starting to run low on chem fuel. The assault rifle build has been complete, getting us another excellent quality. And the Drowning Jubilee is here. We don't actually have any pews for that, so we're gonna go and make some. Bowman needs death rest now as well. Crafter is back up, and they should be able to alternate between death rest fairly well, as long as oh, we need to make another one. Death rest casket. Yeah, we should be able to deal with their death rests fine if we alternate them well enough. We just need to remember to do it, otherwise they will have to end up doing it at the same time if we mess up enough. The second casket is ready, and we're gonna have Bowman go and start his death rest. Crafter did end up leaving his weapon behind, so we're gonna have him grab that. And with the ship ready to launch again, we're going to leave immediately. And head towards the gold ore. It does look like we are just missing the grasslands. Okay, the gold needs to be mined, and then we'll get to work on the other supplies afterwards. Looks like there's a decent amount of components here, and we'll see if there's anything else quickly. There is some jade. I am gonna check if there's anything inside that hollow. And Frob has a terrifying hallucinations mental break. I am fine with Frob's mental breaks though, as they are still recovering from a fairly bad event. Lane's ability is ready again, so we'll use it. And we get gold. The two recent gold rolls, as well as the large amount of gold we have here, will probably set us up for the entire series now, or what remains of it. Lane has nearly finished the first sniper rifle, and I'm hoping it will be a masterwork, because if that is the case, we can get Sam a new weapon. With a masterwork sniper rifle, she'll be very useful to us again, just like the old days when she had her custom bolt action rifle. Okay, so I forgot it can come up here as a notification, but the billiards table does need space. I'm gonna rotate it and see if that does enough. If not, we can just move the statues to better spots. Okay, we are gonna need to move the statue. but that is now sorted, and the hollow area has been opened up to reveal nothing. The current mining work is basically done, and the last of the resources are being hauled aboard. We do still have a decent amount of time before we need to leave though, so I'm gonna queue up a steel vein once the supplies have been hauled aboard. And the research for pulse charge munitions has been finished. I believe that is basically going to be it now for research. I can't see anything else I want massively. I guess we could do a gun link for Sam. It just puts her a bit at risk if we're going to send her indoors. I think we'll avoid it and just go for what we have, as the weapon upgrades are going to do a lot anyway, and I believe Sam is a level 20. Level 15. Okay, that's still fine. And also, I said I wanted to get another wing on the ship built, so I may think about that next episode now, as I've been doing quite a lot so far this episode. I think we've gone to like 6 different maps, 5 or 6. So we'll probably finish up the steel here and head to the next map before ending. We do have a visitor, and we are able to trade finally, although with one person arriving, I doubt they'll have much. I will still send Nails out to talk with them at the very least. They do have a very small amount of herbal medicine, which we'll take. And we'll just sell them probably the spear we don't need. And a kid's parka that the kids' parkas that we no longer need. Okay, we do get a quest from them though. So we can break into an ancient complex. And I think with all the mining maps done, we can go there next. We'll land close by, and as normal we'll grab the important resources. There is gold on this map, and that should 100% be everything we need now in terms of gold. For components, I don't really know, but we will probably end up with nearly 250 after clearing this out. Speaking of which, we'll have a team do that immediately. We are going to send our more competent people, as I want the work done for this map fairly quickly. We get 2 crates straight away, and they are going to provide some uranium and herbal medicine. Not insane rewards, but that's fine. This is more of a better reward, the insect meat being liked by our colonists. So we can have a decent amount of mood buffs from this. I'm not sure why, but the door down here opened, allowing a decent amount of the insects through. We were able to take them out fairly easily though, with some minimal injuries. Okay, that's a corridor. Empty room. There is a hermetic crate in here. We are probably gonna have to make Crafter force this to explode. Apparently it's not gonna explode. That's strange. Sometimes they explode when I enter rooms and sometimes they don't. I'm kind of unsure like what sets them off then, if it's not people going close. I mean, I know it's damage, but we weren't really hitting them before. Oh, more insects. We can save that until we've dealt with the other one. Okay. An empty room. I forgot to check this one, so we'll do that now. That's just a hollow room. And then a crate in here. And another room full of insects. We'll send some back up. Doesn't look like the crates for this map were too good in terms of loot. I was hoping for some weapons, potentially. Right. Crafter is now fairly injured. So we'll have them leave. This will be left until later. We'll free up the dead insect corpses though. And then they'll be butchered down over our stay here. We might not even need to do the third room, but I'd like to fill up the freezer as much as possible. I think with that cleared though, and already most of our work for this map done, I am going to end the episode here. So thank you for watching. If you are enjoying the series so far, please consider liking the episode and subscribing to the channel. It massively helps out and lets me know that you're enjoying the content I produce. Thank you again, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.